Reality is our beliefs plus our perception. And what's interesting about that is that it's two choices. So we choose to believe, and for the most part we choose how we perceive. But we choose the way in which we interpret what we're seeing, the how. With our beliefs, there's called two types of beliefs. There's empowering beliefs and then there's limited beliefs. And a lot of people get consumed in these limited beliefs that they're not enough or that they're not loved. And it's up to us to move towards those empowering beliefs, the things that give us meaning. If we're limited in our empowering beliefs, that's harmful to ourselves. So, whatever you think exists in this world, whether it's God or nature or the source or the universe or anything higher than yourself, if you believe in nothing, just use that and connect with that and grow in that and develop and use it to empower you. Don't use it to limit yourself. Our reality becomes a choice of something less than it really is. Make yourself empowered.
So I've been taking this mindset that we are already whole. And what I mean by that is you see all the time in TV shows, in movies, the boy is always seeking the girl or vice versa, or boy seeking boy, whatever. They're chasing that relationship. It's always the happy ending, oh, they got the boy, they got the girl of their dreams. The whole time they're saying, you complete me, you make me who I am. It's just brainwashing us. I was under the illusion too that this is the case, that we need someone else, we need other people in our lives to make us whole. I do think that social relationship is important to our happiness and whatnot, but it shouldn't contribute to our sadness if we are alone. And when those people leave our lives, in one way or another, those people still live on through the sensations that we feel, that happiness or that sadness. And it's important to realize that continuum of existence is always in effect, that we're never truly alone. And if we're always seeking these relationships, how is that any different than seeking drugs or alcohol or unhealthy foods? It's just an addiction like any other. You're just seeking relationships. To just love yourself for who you are, and that realizing you are whole, you're there, you're present. We don't need anything outside of ourselves. And just continue to give what we have. And by giving and giving and giving, we'll find that we'll just receive so much more than we could even expect. If we're always expecting, that's what leads to unhappiness. We've created this mental gap in between what we have and what we want. And this gap right here, it's never being filled if we're always seeking something outside of ourselves. If we're always expecting something in return. We need to replace our expectations with gratitude, just being thankful for what we have. Because we will never have anything more than what we have now. Yes, new things will enter your life, but things will also leave as well. That part of the mind is just activated, and it says don't do this. What you're doing isn't good enough. People aren't going to like you. This is going to fail. Once it's observed, then we can begin to take power over it. Because I don't know if we had that voice when we were kids. Because when we were kids, we didn't care what people thought about us. We just played and drew and created stuff. This whole process is just learning to become that again. Whenever we do something that's slightly different, slightly out of the norm, we will be attacked in some way. Doubt's really just an illusion. That if the doubt exists inside of us, then we're just going to see that doubt when other people speak to us about our situation. No matter what others are saying to us, or what, more importantly, we're saying to ourselves, know that that's just the mind. It's the mind tricking us, it's playing games. It knows that this is uncomfortable for it. When we open ourselves up to a state of creativity, every day is different. There is no more Monday. There's no more Saturday. There's no more weekend. Every day is a Monday. Every day is a Saturday. Every day is a Wednesday. It doesn't matter anymore. And it allows us to become more focused on what we truly want to do. It allows us to shed distractions, such as the mind telling us that we're not good enough or that we can't do something, because that's not the case. We can do it, and we will. It just takes time, one step at a time. We've got to start moving from what was to what is, because what is now. We need to stop being a victim of our past circumstances, things that don't exist anymore. And we tell ourselves these things every day. You know, I'm not good at public speaking, I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's all just what was. It's all just in the past. You are not who you were yesterday. You're not that person anymore. A transformation can happen at any moment. It's a decision that we can all make to move into what is and start loving ourselves rather than fearing who we used to be. Because you're not that person anymore. We just do too many things. We're just always doing. A lot of times this doing isn't even in accordance with our vision, with our purpose, with what we want to do in life. It's so easy to get caught up in our day-to-day. I know it, I've been there. And just take some time to be during free time. I know that's hard to come by, but make it, create it. Wake up earlier. Use your weekends responsibly. And just be by yourself. Just experience. Just be in that moment. And not pulled into the past and not looking forward to the future. Because we'll find that in those moments, ideas will just start pouring in. And that's the goal, is to be empty. The goal is to be empty so that we can make room for these new experiences and these new ideas. The work inside that we do is 100 times greater than any work outside of us that we can do. Because by working on the inside, that is amplifying the power that we have. And that empowerment can lead to more influence outside. We don't think we're already enough, that we're powerful. And so we look outside of ourselves for blame, for help. Really, that help exists within us, and it's up to us to begin to search for that and then spread it to others, just out of love, a love for oneself and love for our neighbors. The mind is just crazy. It's crazy, and not trying to be someone that I'm not trying to make things good, just try and be. If we just be and not put all this pressure on ourselves of trying to be good, then whatever we're doing in that moment turns out to be way better than any prior expectations could even place on it. If I'm okay with it going super poorly, then in turn it's probably going to end up better, just because I'm not putting any pressure on myself. That we are our own biggest critic, and sometimes we just need to chill out, live, and just be. Everything is going to be fine. It's going to be fine if we just relax a little bit, breathe, take some time for ourselves. I'm just this space, and in this space ideas come up, thoughts arise, sensations, feelings just bubbling up, or just constantly judging ourselves, in that a sensation will come up and we just grab onto it and we attach, and we start thinking like, oh, should I be feeling this way? Should I be thinking this thought? And we're just constantly in resistance to these things that are arising. The only way to combat it is to love it, but really like be in love with it. Because if a thought comes up or some pain arises in the body, and you just say, oh, I love that, I love that, that's great, but without meaning it, that's, you're just using it as a tactic. It's just a way to get rid of it. And so it's just going to come up again and it's going to stay until we realize that we're just love. That's all we are. It's just this big space of love. To not be in resistance with anything that comes up and anything that arises. Obviously, they're serving a purpose right now. Just continue to go with it and to love these sensations and these feelings and thoughts that are coming up, and use them. And don't stop being in resistance to everything, and just love it. Just love, 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 because that's all we are. So if you're out there and you're wondering if you should be feeling this way, just love that. Because if you're feeling pain and you're feeling discomfort and you're questioning, then you're growing. You're growing, and just love whatever situation you're in.